now that's bundled up. I think they'll continue throughout the year. So I think there's still going to be some good deals for buyers out there. If you're talking to your builder, you might get something extra for free or whatever that looks like. And just have those conversations, and they've got limitations, right? And everyone, some people start with a higher price and then discount further, and others start with a lower price and can't discount as much. So,
Mm.
look at the end price in the end and what you're getting for your value for money, proposition, if you're out there doing that. But I also think the whole play in the US right now, what Donald Trump does with tariffs and stuff is going to have a worldwide impact. So, if he starts tariffing significantly China's going to be looking to other places to move stock through because they may not be able to get their stock into the US and actually get sales enough to actually keep that stock moving. So that may mean that they discount to others, rather than trying to discount their product into the US to offset the tariff. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how that looks. And I think that'll give some ability for builders to provide some different product offerings potentially and what that looks like. So I think it's going to be, you know, I think house pricing can be pretty stable, but what you get for your money you might get a little bit more bang for your buck. I don't think you're going to pay any, much less or any less for the home. I just think what you might get is some better inclusions potentially, and this is very speculative,
Mm.
but there's potential you may get some better inclusions for the same money, and that'd be a great outcome.
It would be. So my take on that, I agree that pricing has stabilized. I think 2024, I'm calling that a bit of a stabilized year or a
Yeah,
year of stability, probably a better way to word that. We saw some good benefits in terms of the builders' timelines and things like that. We didn't have too many price increases and across the board, across the industry. There were some regulation increases that came our way and things like that. But there was a change of regs, and there's quite a few things that happened in 2024, but builders seem to be stabilising and locking in their supplier and trade agreements a little more firmly and all that sort of stuff, so which gives us all a bit of confidence again, which is nice. I think builder pricing in 2025, I would describe it as it's going to be palatable for our new home buyers out there. It should not increase dramatically.
yeah,
Um, Based on having the last sort of 6, 12 months of stability and things like that in place. That said, it's been a pretty tough 3 years for builders. So there may be some pressure from boards and owners and whatnot to say, hey, let's increase the price. I want to increase the margin, get a little bit of money back for the pain I went through the last
yeah.
3 years. Not only that, because of your Donald Trump comment or whatever happens, something can happen, anything can happen. They may want to better future proof themselves and get a bit of margin and put a little bit more money aside in case something does happen. So I think it'd be great. This won't happen. It would be great for every builder to just go bang. We're going to put 10 grand on top of our price, whatever it may be, to help all builders have better margins to make sure that they're future proofed. That would be fantastic. It wouldn't happen. It's the old story, isn't it, Darren? But that's how I sort of see it. So I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. There'll be some price increases, but it's going to be nothing like what we had.
Yeah.
There used to be 15, 25, 30 grand bang, just like that a few times in the last few years. Yeah. So
I think the other bit, Cole, I mean, obviously there's been the new gas regulation kick in, so that's
yep,
added already cost of builds.
yep,
That was as of the first, certainly Victoria, as of the 1st of January. And that's even retrospectively going back to people who aren't on site yet and having to charge those people for the same cost. So,
yeah,
there's those sort of things that are driving up cost as well. So I think, the government's still going to tinker, and it'll be interesting to see what happens from an election point of view here from a national point of view, because I think there'll be some plays in that, but also, the state level, where that plays out. Because, again, they're really set on getting rid of gas or limiting gas usage, and driving up that cost so that it becomes prohibitive. And whether they continue to do the same and look at other things like that, I guess, is going to be interesting,
yeah.
um, where that sort of sits. So,
And I guess just for people's knowledge, like there's part of that cost that builders will pass on because they are the ones doing it,
yeah,
in terms of the connection, or the build process, I should say. But in terms of the connection fees for you, the client, at the end of the build, that's the part that's going up significantly as
Yeah.
well. So you'll see in your contracts that it might have been a few $100 once upon a time. Now it's $2,000, like to have those connects. So they're not actually going to be part of your contract charged by the builder. It's for you to budget for some of those as well, Darren, isn't it? So
Yeah, correct.
yeah.
Correct.
Next one, in line with I suppose the pricing is the builder's stability. How do you look at that this year?
Yeah, look, I think as things pick up through 2025, and I have no doubt that by the end of 2025, we'll see more house sales being made. I think as the interest rates come back, and surely that's just got to happen. So I think we will see things pick up. I think the media speculation will then die down about builders going broke. Again, it was only a few weeks ago, I heard on the radio, the rumor file saying, oh, there's a builder going to go broke this week. Well, it didn't happen. But
Mm.
there's that speculation then that whole week.